What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another quick review. This one's going to be on the 2021 Suicide Squad movie that just came out. Um, just to clarify, this movie came out on HBO Max, and it came out to theaters. So either way, you can see the movie two different ways, I guess. Um, I decided to watch it at home on HBO Max, mainly because I'm paying for an HBO Max subscription. So why waste money going to the theaters? There's no point. This is a movie, though. If you don't have an HBO Max subscription, I suggest seeing this in theaters because the movie's actually really, really cool. It's really gutsy. It's really just loud. It's just a fun movie to watch in general. So I do have a couple little gripes with it, but in reality, I think this movie is pretty much exactly what everybody wants to see from the Suicide Squad. Don't confuse this movie at all with the 2016 one because the 2016 one was absolutely garbage. This movie is everything that first movie is not. So it's just great. I definitely suggest giving this movie a watch. I'm not going to spoil much of it because it is a very spontaneous movie. It catches you off guard with a lot of the shit that happens in it. There's a lot of fun cameos. There's a lot of fun just in general dialogue in this movie. The couple things I had a gripe with, I'd probably say is just like here and there pacing issues, just things where I'm like, there were parts of the movie where I was like, oh, I don't need this. And then as soon as I would say that, the movie picked up and did something spontaneous. And that's really cool. I think anybody who's a big fan of like DC movies should just watch this movie because it's funny. It's goofy, to be honest with you. It's super goofy. It knows exactly what kind of movie it is, and I can't praise James Gunn enough for what he's done with this movie. There is an after credit scene in this movie, so stick around for that. It's nothing amazing, but it definitely pushes the story a little further for the Suicide Squad. So we will most likely be seeing more. Like I said, man, there are things that I'm thinking of right now from that movie. Like I watched it a couple days ago, and like it's so memorable with some of the scenes it has in it. It's not too common that DC has good memorable moments. It's normally really shitty moments where you're just looking back on and they're just awful. R as fuck. It's so many cuss words and so much blood, so much gore. There's chunks of people being ripped apart, people being blown to pieces, people being burned alive. There is so much violence in this movie that it is so crazy. I can't say enough good things about it. It's literally, in my opinion, to me, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, but rated R and DC. That's really the only difference. And like I said, I cannot praise James Gunn enough for finding a way to like pretty much copy and paste Guardians, but make it, to be honest, probably make it better. I know Guardians was already being established in a universe that was already established, so it was hard for them to like do anything new with it. But it feels like Suicide Squad just feels fresh. Like it feels like there's so much fresh, just atmosphere in the movie, and it just feels so much like one of the DC animated movies, but like just like a comedy almost, and it just works so well. I really can't wait for people to watch this movie and let me know how they feel about it because I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's brutal. I think it's super fun to watch. Like I said, I don't want to spoil a lot, but there are a lot of great scenes in this movie, and there's not much bad, and that's weird for me to say because normally there's a lot of bad shit in a movie. You know, I don't even nitpick every little thing, but this movie, there wasn't a lot to nitpick. There were a couple, like I said, a couple of pacing things where I could look back and go, oh, that was annoying, but like it wasn't that bad at all. There was a lot of fun to be had with this movie. Um, Honestly, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm gonna score it. I'm gonna give it like an 8.5, probably 8 to an 8.5. I'd say this movie's totally worth paying money to see. I would even buy this movie. This is just like Guardians of the Galaxy, where I will rewatch this movie, and I'll enjoy it every single time I watch it. I really think people are gonna like this movie a lot. Going into it, I thought it was gonna be like a kind of just like a shitty reboot. No, this is like a sequel almost. You know, like they're continuing from the last one. It's like the characters are already established and know each other. My only gripe with that was the fact that the first movie didn't do good at developing the characters at all. So like this movie just makes you hopes that everybody just knows who these characters are, and it's pretty funny the way they use each character in their own ways. But this review is hard because I want to spoil stuff, but I don't want to spoil stuff. So I think everybody needs to watch this movie. Maybe I'll make like a spoiler video if people want to see that. Really good movie though. 8.5. I can't suggest it more to anybody who's a big fan of this type of genre. Also, I wanted to say I want to start appreciating directors more and more. You know what I mean? I know they make a lot of money, but a lot of directors aren't like people like when you're watching a preview to a movie and it's like from the director of this, from the director of that. People don't pay attention to that enough, I feel like. You can really see the tone of a movie just through, you could really see like the vision that these directors have when they're helping put these movies together. And you can tell this is James Gunn's baby. You can tell this is something that he put together, and it was very, like I said, it's very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque. It's very like goofy, spontaneous, lot of just like quick snap humor, and it just works really well in this setting. And all the actors came together really well and had a lot of good chemistry on screen together. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil a lot, but I can't help but suggest this movie enough. The last scene in the movie, like the last big fight, is kind of goofy, and I feel like the movie knows it's kind of goofy for it. The last fight's kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 fight where they're fighting Ego. It's just kind of like what, but it's fun. You know, they make it fun in their own way. This movie, you're gonna see it when you watch it, but this movie's got a very, it's gonna sound like a crazy comparison, but it's got a very Rogue One, the Star Wars movie. It's got a very Rogue One vibe to it with the way the characters develop and everything. So I'm sure that spoiled a little bit for people, but this movie's awesome. I suggest watching it ASAP. That's as soon as possible. As soon as ASAP. So you guys need to watch this movie. It's pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys. What up, guys? Thanks for watching the video. Myself, would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I don't know. That helps me. It makes me know, hey, you did a good job, dude. Did I do good enough? Did I? Thanks for watching, guys.